extra, extra. Ain't no mileage up on.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the 49ers and the Silver and Black, and it's coming up next.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Straight ahead, we've got a great tap here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
We go from Las Vegas. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd and 3. That's caught by Waller out left side. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1. Back to throw again.
catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jackson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They go with Jacobs. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message. Hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory. Be aggressive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Renfrow bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown Raiders. Darren Waller. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by a man in his 23rd NFL season. Still doing it at age 45, Tom Brady.
And at one point he announced to the NFL world that he had accomplished everything he needed to and was going to retire, but then reversed that decision. And I think everyone who likes football loves the fact that he's still out there throwing it around and still at the top of his game. In a career that's seen it accomplish just about everything, he figured there was always room to add to that legacy.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Brady. Got a man. That's Ayuk. 7 yards there and a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Second and 10. Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense is going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. Back to throw. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. He had a touchdown pass on the 1st drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 1st down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. 51 yards on the punt there. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of 7. And it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
But we need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. Throw outside. McCaffrey's got it. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job is simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now the number 8 rusher in the NFL last season, it's Elijah Mitchell. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if you bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. They'll look to throw here on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd and 14. Caught out right by Renfro. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. '49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Back to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Holding offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll look to throw again. And this is caught at the 8. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught.
Illegal touching. Offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
It's now 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando and the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Niners in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. Going up top. And incomplete on the deep ball.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Well, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. Open man, that's Renfro. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Jason Verrett stepping in there and knocking that pass free.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Brady. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, we've said it many times, Charles, when you have weapons like this at the wide receiver position, just get them the football any way that you can, and here it's in the run game.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time.
The evidence was right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up the 3rd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Brady. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Throughout his career, Tom Brady has made a living with the quick pass, hasn't he? How about that one? A little slant inside, and I think his arm's gotten stronger throughout his career, too.
Yeah, you can just see one of many examples of why he's made more trips to the Super Bowl than any other quarterback.
Footwork, intelligence, competitiveness, that's Tom Brady in a nutshell.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Chandler Jones so quick. He was the one that got in to stop that one before it got started.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now Brady bounces forward on the jet sweep. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This drive started way back inside their own 5. Now they're looking for, and across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Christian McCaffrey punching it in from a yard away. And the 49ers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. But we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A 10-play drive that time. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successful?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Eluding the pressure right. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pass complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. The fumble recovery certainly has put them in the driver's seat. 1st and 10, all tied here in the 4th. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And some room to work. 54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Well, Christian McCaffrey is as tough to bring down as they come at the running back position, and he proved it right there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Brady. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey. He finds some open field here. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 13. A big play there from McCaffrey. 48 yards. Christian McCaffrey, a guy that can beat you in so many ways. He's a threat to go the distance literally every time he touches the football.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Gold is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This take it in at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 at the 26-yard line. So now London down by a field goal, 2:10 on the clock. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Pass complete. It's Adams. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll look to throw. Able to connect with Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. Flushed out, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Javon Kinlaw in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
He'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. He's back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. And the defense will spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it. So the victory here for San Francisco. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter. But second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.